Masterpiece Theater presents The Jack and Marc Show. In this episode, Jack and Marc each commiserate from their respective jail cells via the wonders of WhatsApp, each serving several months for impersonating professors at the University of Toronto and teaching classes to unwary students. Why? Because, as they stated in their defense to the judge, it seemed like a good idea at the time. So I think we were pretty lucky to get those jobs as professors. The interviewer was quite impressed by my PhD in the laundering of money. In the Middle Ages, they didn't have any way of transferring money. And there was this fellow, Mango Kleinhardt. He trained rats, and by strapping tiny saddlebags with a harness around their torso, he would have the rats deliver the money to the other end. This was some of the first documented transferring of funds in ancient times.
But he had a lot of engineering problems.
Well, especially his idea with trying to put boots on the rats, that failed miserably. They don't like boots, and it just made them despondent.
There was a period where some of the rats, their left legs were shorter than the right legs, so they went around in circles.
The great circling dilemma, not to mention that people started getting suspicious that he was responsible for the plague.
Didn't they have a buddy that kind of helped them, a silent partner?
It was his idea to use chickens.
Well, because you could eat them.
Well, the receiver could eat the chicken, but there would be a sub-fee. No, the whole thing was basically a complete failure.
And now for something completely different.
They're like the Neanderthals. The Neanderthals didn't have a good, solid understanding of macroeconomics.
No, but the Neanderthals were not as stupid as the Homo sapiens made them out to be.
They were jealous because they were getting all the date.
Oh yeah, the Neanderthal men and women were much better looking than Homo sapiens. I think the Homo sapiens just said they were stupid because they were jealous.
Its root is from the Latin. Homo means milk, and sapien means no. So it's to know milk. Because it was embarrassing, right, to be seen drinking out of a cow's udder. Whereas the Neanderthals seemed to have solved that problem. They were walking around with glasses of milk all the time.
The Neanderthals had milk delivery service, and quite ingeniously, they used
rats.
They weren't the brown European brown rat. They were the bigger rodents of the day. Yeah, they were the size of leopards.
But small leopards?
Well, your regular leopard, the leopard of the day. Well, I guess the leopards were a little bigger then too, weren't they? Everything was bigger in those days. Now, of course, the Neanderthals were bigger because they had a more readily available way of drinking milk. And they knew that milk was a great
growth stimulant.
And of course, these cows, they weren't domesticated. Oh yeah, the Homo sapiens, some of them would be dragged, 50 yards sucking on a cow tat, over rocks. It was hard hunting a woolly mammoth. Try getting milk from a pissed off, wild, prehistoric cow.
But in the end, the Neanderthals lost out.
They did, yeah.
It's not clear what happened.
Well, I think the Homo sapiens are just nasty. I think they moved in on their territory, especially in the milk industry. And just like the United States is trying to move in on the Canadian milk industry, the Homo sapiens, they moved in the Neanderthal industry.
So Canada is the Neanderthals of the 20th century relationship between U.S. and Canada then? And U.S. are the Homo sapien?
Yeah, that's true. Well, that was part of my thesis. I got a small medal at United Nations for that insight. I almost got the Nobel Peace Prize for Economics. Instead, I got a lesser-known award. My award is called the Lesser-Known Economic Award.
The LKEA?
Well, that's right. To those in the know, it's known as the LKEA Award.
Where does Mexico fit into this whole shebang?
Mexico? I guess they'd be Cro-Magnons.
What would China be? Peking Man?
Yes, Peking Man.
A lot of people think Peking Man is from the city Peking, but it's actually from Peking.
Yes, that's also not as well known. The Neanderthals and Homo sapiens, they didn't like the Peking Man at all.
Remember Pee-Pee Man?
Yeah, well, that was the guy he would pretend he's a bird. Yeah, he'd hide in the bushes and peep. People would throw him breadcrumbs because they thought he was a bird. It's one of the first recorded incidences of clandestine begging.
Well, there was a whole religion started around the Peeping Man.
Yes, congregations developed, and they were known as the Peeping Clans. Everyone thought they were feeding birds hiding in bushes. But in fact, they were peeping men hiding in bushes, imitating small birds. People were pissed off, and unfortunately, the Peking men got associated with the peeping men just because they lived in the same vicinity. And then I think the Neanderthals and the Homo sapiens got together and they gathered all the Pekings and the peepings and threw them into the bog.
Oh, the bog, yeah, and they became peaked, right?
Yeah, they became peak. Well, that's why you find so many peaking and peeping people in the bogs. And they say, how did the peaking man get in here? Well, he was thrown in there probably by an angry Neanderthal. Not many people believe our theories, you know.
No, in this day and age, it's hard to convince the young people of, the reality of science.
It's hard going against the current. That's all I have to say, But I did get that little known award.
Yeah, well, I'd like to see it. Maybe I could come by your office.
We have concluded our broadcast schedule for today. Good night.